Okay, today's topic, let's see. Hair removal. Okay, we're going to weigh the pros and cons and go over different ways you could go about removing hair from the body. We have shaving, which is with a razor, of course. Pros for shaving, let's see. It's quick, it's efficient as far as doing the job. I would only recommend shaving for maybe a quick fix. Anybody can use it, but you know, like if you're single and you know you don't wax or use a depilatory often and you kind of like let it all grow, if you have a date that's coming over last minute or you know something like that, I would say shaving is ideal because you know it's a quick fix. Shave your legs, shave down there, whatever, your underarms, blah blah blah, for just you know that one date or if you're going on an outing, so forth. It only lasts maybe about 2 or 3 days, and then it will start to grow back, and then it has a tendency to grow back thicker. So I really wouldn't recommend shaving except for you know if it's a last minute kind of thing and you really need to get it done. Cons of shaving, depends on which area you're shaving. Under the underarms, sometimes I don't really like to shave under the underarms because it can leave you with razor burn or razor bumps, ingrown hairs, and then it has a tendency to darken the pigment underneath your underarm if you shave often, and the same goes with your bikini area. I definitely wouldn't recommend shaving the bikini area for the razor burn purposes, ingrown hairs, and razor bumps. They're very unsightly, especially in a bikini, and it can make you very self-conscious. So I wouldn't recommend shaving unless you're younger, and it's something that you really don't experience, like maybe hair removal down there as often. Then I would say you know it'll suffice and get the job done for that day or night or so on. Pros for shaving, like I said, it's quick, it gets the job done, but after a couple days you're faced with the same problem again. So that would be my last option, would be to shave. We have depilatories, which are hair removal creams. I would say that's kind of like a middle ground. So you leave those on depending on which area you're trying to remove hair from. If it's from your face, make sure you use a facial depilatory and not a regular one that has the strength, because the strength varies. If you're using it for your legs or your bikini area, it's a bit stronger than it would be for your face. So if you want to remove maybe a mustache or I don't know, cheek hair or whatnot, or if that's how you arch your eyebrows, then make sure it's facial depilatory. If it's like cheek hair or something that you want to get rid of, I wouldn't recommend using a depilatory. I would say just use a bleacher or a lightener, which basically lightens the hair on your face to make it less visible without actually using harsh chemicals that'll like kind of take off the couple top layers of your skin, because it can kind of make the texture of your skin very rough and not as smooth to the touch. So if you're using depilatories for that reason, use a bleacher. But if you're doing it to get a mustache off or something like that, you could use like Sally Hansen, or who else makes it? Veet makes facial depilatories. Those work. Those basically get a little bit into the hair follicle and remove the hair by chemical process, which melts it off, I guess. It doesn't actually get all the way down to the follicle and uproot it, but it works. That lasts a little bit longer than shaving, maybe about 5 or 6 days depending on the area that you use it in. Using it on your bikini area is okay. If you're using it on your bikini area, you don't want to use it anywhere inside or close to the vulva because it can get very bad. It is a chemical and it will burn you, very much so. So make sure to use it only if you know what you're doing. Sally Hansen, Veet, who else makes it? It's slipping my mind right now. And they really stink. They come with smells like raspberry and stuff like that, but it doesn't work. It still stinks. But if you're opting for an option that's going to leave you hairless and smooth for a couple days longer than shaving, I would recommend a depilatory. and they're ideal for the legs as well if you don't want to shave. So you could use it there too. If you want to use it under the underarm, you can, even though the hair under the arm is a bit more coarser than on other areas of the body. It's still ideal. Just make sure you choose a strength that you think will work for you, and you can find that out on a trial and error basis. Basically, try. If it doesn't work, try another one. Waxing is hands down my above all favorite. I think they're better than all of them and most efficient, because waxing, it is painful, but I think it's worth it on any parts of the body: mustache, eyebrows, underarm, legs, arms, bikini area. This can last anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, as long as you have a certified technician that knows what they're doing. And above all, if you go to a salon to get it done, make sure it's sanitary, it's clean, because you don't want to use wax that's been re-dipped, because that's kind of self-explanatory. What it is, they take a big tube of wax typically, and they warm it up, and then they spoon it out and put it into a dish, or sometimes they spoon it right out of the container and put it on the client. And if the client happens to have, you know, an STD or warts or, you know, whatever, and then they're re-dipping the spoon back into the tub, it's contaminating the whole tub of wax. So you have to make sure, ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because if you walk out of there and a couple days later you have something on you that you ain't had when you went in there, you're going to be upset. So make sure you ask. Make sure the technician is certified. They should have all licenses and certifications on display in the room that they're working on or in the salon. So make sure you look for that. There are different type of waxes that you could get in your bikini area. Bikini wax ranges anywhere typically from like $20 to $40. That's basically waxing both sides of your legs, and that's it. A Brazilian wax is taking everything off. That typically means the top, the sides, the hair off your vulva, if you have any hair inside, and then the hair in the crack of your butt. So they get everything, and it leaves it smooth as a baby's back. That could range anywhere from like $60 to $100. It's been my experience, depending on where you go. But that's what I use, and that's what I prefer, and it works very well for me, and I'm always happy, I'm always satisfied. And it usually lasts about 5 weeks for me. So if you're thinking about going to get a bikini wax, I would say the hair has to be at least a 1/4 inch long, which is about, if you could see that, like maybe that long, and the salon tech will be able to grip it up. Now, if you're going for the first time, ladies or gents, it's going to hurt, I have to say, but pop a couple aspirin, you'll be alright. Last but not least, laser hair removal. This is something I'm not really fully informed on, but through my reading and research, I found that on people of color, darker pigmented skin, it can leave a lot of scarring. And what that is you go to different treatments and they use a laser to zap the hair follicles. Now, you're not going to see results right away. It's going to take a while. You're going to have to go back several times. And each visit can range anywhere from $200 to $800 depending on where you go. So that's very expensive, and then you don't see the results right away, but over time the hair becomes thinner and it grows back at a slower pace. So we have shaving, depilatories, waxing, and laser hair removal. I would say waxing above all else, hands down, works the best for me. It's not very pricey. If you think about it, you're only going to need to spend like maybe $60 to $100 every 5 or 6 weeks, depending on how it works for you. And it leaves me bare, it leaves me smooth, and it's something that I like, and it works for me. So you can write me and tell me what works for you, or tell me your thoughts. Hair removal, pros and cons. Let me know what your feedback is.